Hi, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Wow, look at us. We're not in two different towns today.
Exactly. In the same place.
Here it is, Saturday, 1 o'clock, and we have an exciting show today. We got amazing dogs on, and we got amazing dogs here at Sharon's. We're at Sharon's house today.
We are
up in the barn.
So, up in the barn.
Up in the barn. Oh boy, we got some awesome stuff to show you outside too, but that's afterwards. So we want to get to the comments here real quick. And hi, William. Hi, Tony. Hi, Maria. And I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining the show. And I want to bring up our guest dog.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, and this is a dog down south, and well, I think I'll let her foster mom, Bonnie, tell her about it. Yep. Hey, looky here. Who do you have? Who is that?
Good girl. This is Denali, and she's been with me for a couple of months. Unfortunately, her mom died of cancer, and Barb called me, and I agreed to take her in because her mom was right down here in the next town over. So she's been here a couple of months. She's really a good girl. Her problem is she doesn't always play nice with others. So she might be better off as a single dog. The only one she plays nice with here is the Chihuahua. She does good on a leash. She likes to play. She will put her mouth on me, but she won't bite. Good girl. Get your squirrel. Get your ball. Get your ball. That's a good girl.
Now, how can somebody that cute not get along with another dog?
She wants to be the princess, and she would like to be the only princess of her kingdom.
Yes, she would. See, there's the Chihuahua.
That's right.
What else do you want to know about her? She's heartworm negative.
Okay. How much does she weigh?
About 80 pounds.
Oh.
Okay. All right. NationalPyr.org. That's where Denali is. And she's in Mississippi. Do you have, and I'm sure we've got transport available out of Mississippi, right?
Yes, because Hercules just left maybe 2 weeks ago to go up to New Jersey.
Okay.
And she's heartworm negative. So
by the way, Nancy,
huh?
Okay. Regina says she loves your Pyr shirt.
I think I got it from Lynn Polarski's group years ago.
Okay.
It's cute.
It is. And Nancy made the live show today.
She did.
Thanks for joining us, Nancy. So NationalPyr.org, and she's available for adoption, right, Bonnie?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Do we know how she is with cats?
She grew up with cats, so she's good. Oh, the other thing is that she's food aggressive. Not with me, but with the other dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And that's not unusual with this breed. What about children? Has she ever been around children that you know of?
Well, I have 2 toddlers next door, and she loves them.
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
That's great.
So, all right. So Denali, NationalPyr.org. And we're having, since we don't, we're out on the road. So sometimes you can have issues. And so if we sound weird, that's why.
We apologize.
We apologize. So normally we would let Bonnie stay up with us, but we're going to have to take her down to the green room because apparently we need to reboot our access points. All right. So Bonnie, thank you for coming on. And I'm going to take you down to the green room, and you're more than welcome to watch the show from there.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Bye, Denali.
All right.
Denali's a beautiful girl.
So, and I'll let Roman hear what we're saying. We're having a few little technical issues here out here on the road. And so we're going to give this a shot here. So, hi, Roman.
How are you guys
That's
doing?
better.
Hey, we're not having that problem with Roman.
Yeah, no, it's much better.
Interesting.
What did I do?
You're magic.
Yeah, you're magic because he's got headphones on.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it is the headphones.
Yep.
Awesome, Roman. Thank you. Well, let's see if we can get to this. I made a little boo-boo here, and we want to. I didn't transfer the question to the from the desktop to the laptop, so we're going to read it live.
Okay.
Right out of the form. What do you think about that?
Yeah, go for
All
it.
right.
If our internet will bring the form up. There it is. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Here's your question. My almost 7-month-old Great Pyrenees is afraid of everything. He'll refuse to go in the backyard, and we can't get him on a leash for a walk. He's just scared. Any suggestions?
Yes.
Roman froze.
No, we froze.
We froze.
Okay. So, there are multiple reasons why dogs can be so scared. The first question would be, when did it first start? Was it always like that, like from the puppy? Or something happened in between and things changed? Question number 2. If that happened since the puppy, we're dealing eventually with a genetic predisposition, or we're talking about deficiency. Sometimes lack of certain nutrients, lack of certain probiotics, lack of certain hormones can cause a dog to be more fearful, which is difficult to kind of just work with it like that. So we need to do an assessment. Try to find the timeline of events. When did it start? When did it improve? When did it escalate? Okay, we want to make sure that we have any type of, let's call them medical conditions that are underlying. And so we can narrow down what the veterinarian should look for. Because veterinarians are not behaviorists. And veterinary behaviorists sometimes don't understand the breed-specific breed traits. They understand the breeds, but not the breed traits. And what we have to look for is help them out from in your home situation, bringing that information there. Okay. So the veterinary nutritionist, if he's holistic, he may have a different range of approach to help you navigate through the process. He's going to do some food adjustments. Eventually, he's going to give you some calming remedies. Okay. I'm not a nutritionist, and I'm not holistic herbalist, so I'm not giving any advice here. But I have people that I work with, and I'm happy to give you a couple of recommendations. And once we have that established, we're going to see if that improves the situation. Usually it takes a couple of days for things to improve. Then we have another option. So if there is a trauma involved, then we're looking at the dog negative thinking pattern. Sometimes dogs think negatively. Here it's safe, outside is not. And if that trauma is in place, we're going to look for it. Where did this happen? Sometimes puppies who have not been with their parents were born without parents, like free-born, without, like, how you call it, orphans, or were born in a breeding facility, like backyard breeders, etc. They have this development issue, not feeling safe wherever they are. They were consistently exposed in stressors, and their body basically shut off and let them feel vulnerable and fearful all the time. That's quite tricky. So from my perspective, we have to go back to the very first event and create a first primary imprint that is missing. So in the imprint period, where the very first time the puppy was born, he hasn't had this imprint of safety. He's missing And so we have to create a similar situation where the puppy can imprint a new experience of finally feeling safe. And then we're going to talk about teaching the puppy to make choices that are out of the feeling of safety. So it's kind of complicated. It's not something that we can train into. It's something the dog has to experience on his own in order for that to become his own experience and then feel better about it. So it's really kind of complicated. But I feel, yeah, thank you. I feel it's worth messaging me so we can check in with that route if we can do something for you guys and make your dog feel more confident in general. And then we're going to build up specific techniques to help your dog making choices out of his own understanding whether or not going to the next step. We're going to talk about feeling, being able to observe the thresholds that a puppy is going through, the emotional thresholds, getting closer and closer to things that he's worried about, and teaching him troubleshooting skills. What do I deal with if things doesn't make any sense? Do I gotta going into shutdown and freaking out, or do I check in with you and making sure, you're helping me out because you know how I feel? So this is kind of like a package that I think would be very helpful for your dog. Any attempt to force the puppy in a situation, pushing, and I know many people says, oh, just put him a prong collar on and just drag him outside. He's going to move. What is his choice, right? Don't. Or, you know what? No, we don't use prong collars. We use a martingale collar. Don't. It's not the martingale collar. It's you don't force your dog into an experience that your dog is not ready for. It's called flooding. And flooding causes bad juju. Okay, very, very rare. In a very specific conditions, flooding can help, but not for a trainer and not for somebody who has not experienced doing flooding, because it involves so many factors. You can make so much wrong so quickly. You're gonna do more damage than good. So flooding is very, very detailed. Okay, I'll give you an example of flooding. Flooding is drinking a coffee that's too hot. See what I mean? You work around it. You want to drink the coffee is hot. What do? You need to drink that coffee, right? So you create an around behavior to be able to do what you need to do while being consistently exposed with the problem until you find a better solution that relieves you from the problem of being decaffeinated. And then you drink that coffee. So flooding can be more complicated because, for example, how would you feel if you're scared of of spiders, and I put you in a room with spiders? How would you like spiders then? Yes, you will breathe and you will not die, and I promise you those spiders will not kill you, but that's the sensation of being spiders in there gets you in that anxiety level. You will not feel good. You may not change your mind about spiders because you recognize spiders didn't kill you, but your anxious and anxiety will still be there, right? Yeah. Unless I help you design a technique to keep those spiders away, and then you feel controlled. You feel controlled. So in those dogs, for example, when dogs have this fear, they need to feel in control, because that's what they lack, feeling the sense of controlling their environment. I don't know if you have time and option to hear it. Steve, does it make sense?
Time and option to, we got some time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes, we do.
good. Any questions to that?
So far, there's not.
Good.
Now, I was working on things while you were talking, and that's why I must have done something and fixed it. I hope everybody can hear me.
Oh, yeah, we do.
So,
No one's saying they can't.
okay, good.
Okay.
So now that was the only question we had.
Good. I have a question on you guys.
That was it.
You know, Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead. No. I'm listening.
Oh, no, go ahead. You said you had a question?
No, I had a general question to the audience.
Oh.
I was wondering
Oh,
how people like feedback for people. Maybe people can start getting ready for typing. What was your expectation when you got your Pyrenees dog? What did you want your Pyrenees to be when he would grow up? What would be the needs that you will feel fulfilled having a dog like a Pyrenees in your property, in your house? What was your original mindset? Are you poking me? Okay. So if I would have a Pyrenees, for example, I would have certain expectations of a guardian breed. I want him to warn me when there is something changing in the environment that I consider stable, like a car pulls up, a person walks up, an animal is in the territory. Okay. And what was your idea? Companionship, Karen. Great. And my next question is, how did you reach your goal? What were you able to do to get your Pyrenees, who was bred thousands of generations, millions of generations? I'm saying a number here. Don't take me like wrong, but as a guardian breed, I'm not saying as a Pyrenees dog. As a guardian breed, we have 4.2 million generations of dogs doing one thing, guarding. How were you able to make a dog do something other than that? Right? So, what was your question?
Was my question. So it's actually kind of a addition to the person's question that you answered about. She said, the dog had a lot of fears, and she specifically mentioned she couldn't get a leash on the dog. And as I have a dog that I can't get a leash on, I'm kind of curious as
want me to bring her up?
Yeah, you want to bring her up? You can see her.
Okay, everybody. We'll see if we can get her up here.
Who's that?
See if she comes up. But Ava. So Ava she's way out there.
Oh, okay.
You can see her laying out there.
Gotcha. Wait, do you have like an online thing and you kind of zoom into that? Wow.
I can't zoom in. I can tilt and pan remotely.
No, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, she's just out in the yard, and you can click a leash on her, but if there is even like the minutest little tension at all on it, like if she's dragging the leash and it catches on a blade of grass, she absolutely panics, like full-blown panic.
Good. So,
and the reason she's out there so far, you can't see her, Roman, is because I'm here.
Yeah. She, otherwise she actually will come and lay in here by, if I'm sitting here.
So she finds a
she'll
corner
and
that
lay
she
in the
feels
area.
safe all the way in the corner when she's alone. She's kind of cornering herself. Okay. That kind of matches the primary idea that she never feels safe. And her grabbing around the neck, everything essentials around the neck, triggers a survival response. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a training.
And I have tried a harness too.
Right. We're going to use the collar for now.
Okay.
This one. And you're going to put the leash on and walk away. A long leash. And Steve should do it.
Right.
And she will be attracted to him. And she has to drag the resistance of the leash coming to Steve. And Steve will have something that she super, super likes. Cheese sticks, goat cheese, fermented fish stock, whatever. I know, yucky, right? But we need that trigger of food to kick in to override that fear of approach. And then she has to overcome the sensation of pressure on her neck to get there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create that sensation of need and then she has to overcome the little obstacles that are on the way, including the pressure on the leash. And then what I'd like you to do, once that is feeling better, I would like you to put the pressure on the leash, just the weight of the leash, and see if she has the option. Let me put it in a better way so you can see it. Hold on a second. I don't have a leash handy, do I? Oh yeah, I do have a leash here. Okay, so see if she is able to reduce that into this. And I would like you to use the clicker. Steve, start using the clicker. If she's okay with the clicker and she doesn't freak out by that noise of a clicker, you want to charge your clicker. Okay? And have her the sensation.
She probably would not like the noise of a clicker.
She doesn't like. Yes or no? I didn't hear it.
No, she.
When I had her at the kennel, when I was testing a clicker on another dog, it freaked her out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then use your voice.
Yeah.
You know how I am with the clicker with this breed.
Right. Use the voice. Use the word good. Okay, so you say good, give her a treat. Good,
right.
Give her a treat. Good, you charge your word good as a reinforcer, and then what you want to do is you want to move backwards. If she moves to you, you say good. We're gonna create a bridge of events. Move backwards, you say good. Then you make that a routine. Every time I move back, you move with me, I say good. And then you do the following. You give a little bit of a pressure with your finger just to tense the leash from its weight. Okay? You see, I'm holding, that's the dog, and that's your hand. You see, the leash is tense,
right,
but it carries its own weight. So it becomes more linear. It doesn't come very harsh, so very linear. You move backwards, and then you increase the friction of your leash, so you try to keep the leash in tension, but not hard.
Roman, we're losing your signal's fading in and out.
Okay, how about now?
We're losing your signal, Roman. Sorry.
You're
I'm so
froze.
sorry.
Now you're better.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up here with my signal?
It keeps cutting in and out.
Okay.
I may have to just call you and or message you to do a session with her.
We can record it, and then you have it as a feedback, and you guys can share it next time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, thanks, Roman.
So I see a couple of questions here. Companionship, quiet dog who never barks at any intruder. Okay. My female Pyrenees.
You asked what the expectations were.
Right. Okay, I see. So everybody has. Right. So I see we have a lot of issues of communications, right? People need better communications. A dog to be quiet when people come in. The dog needs communication skills with you, so he understands when it's done barking about it. That dog poops in the house. We want the dog to tell us that she needs to go to the bathroom, right? Yeah. I think next time maybe we can focus on that a little bit. How do we improve communications with our dog so our dog can tell us more about what she wants or he wants, and how can we give that message back to them, letting them know?
Okay.
I was pretty sure Rhonda Lee was joking when she said a quiet dog who never barks at any intruder. And she did say she was joking.
Yep. No, you don't. You really want one. Joking. Good.
All right.
All
okay.
right.
Wow, Roman, we're going to move forward. We still have more to go here.
Yep.
And
Go.
I really appreciate you coming on. It's a little distracting. It turns out it's not you that has a signal problem. It's us.
Yeah. It's hard because we're not getting a good clear signal for some reason.
Yeah. And we're distracted.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
And Sophie is trying to keep us calm.
Yeah.
Right.
Good girl, Soph.
So yeah, I think the question of Karen was pretty good. Let's talk about speaking dog next time. Let's learn the language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should create a vocabulary. So what I would like people to do, maybe it would be helpful, send us a video of your dog doing something, yet you have no clue what it is. And we're going to, Steve will pull it up, and we're going to break it down in all individual letters of that word, and then look at the sentence of that word. So what we need, basically, perfect, we need a full picture of your dog, head, body, legs, including the tail, a whole picture, maybe 45 degrees angle, not from the side, not from the top, right? So we can see a three-dimensional dog kind of thing, have a third person record it, and then we can break it down. It's very interesting to see how many words a dog uses to tell you something, and how can we look at it from our perspective and translate it in the context, not out of the context.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So send in your videos, everyone.
Yeah.
Pictures,
And
videos.
while we're in the mood of putting up little banners, don't forget we have our giveaway drawing at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
if you
right.
start just start in the comment section. If you type in #NGPR, it enters you into the draw.
I need to put it.
And
I need to find
Roman
the
almost
comments.
won last week. He came close.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, #NGPR.
And
You
share.
type it into
share
the comments, and we will have the drawing at the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Awesome.
all right, Roman, we're going to move forward. Thank you so much for coming on and putting up with our annoying video or our annoying signal right now. So,
You guys
but we
were
do
good
have
on
to
my
move
side.
forward because this is National Foster Care Month.
Bye-bye.
What's that?
Get the dogs adopted.
All right.
Yes.
We will. Bye,
Bye,
Roman.
Roman. Thank you.
Okay. So I think this is your turn to talk about that.
So May is National Foster Care Month, National Foster a Pet Month. So we want to talk a little bit about fostering and, some of the different ways that you can foster. One thing that people may not know about is that we do have a need for short-term fosters. And we actually have a message from our director to talk a little bit about short-term fostering. And she's currently she was currently fostering short-term. And then she'll explain a little bit about that. And then we can talk a little bit about it afterwards.
Right. It's now. She's not here live, as you can see.
Nope.
We had to record this earlier, and you let us know what you think of that one too. All right. So we would like to little soon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce our director, Barbara Matson, and her short-term foster was Lily, right?
Yep.
So here's what Barbara has to say. Hi, Barbara. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Hi, Barbara.
Thank you for coming on the show. And you came on because we wanted to talk to you about fostering and short-term fostering and what we need. And can you fill us in a little bit on that, please?
Sure. Well, I'm sitting here with my short-term foster. Her name is Lily, and she came from Kentucky 10 days ago. And Lily, look at the camera. Say hello.
She's so cute.
She's
Cute
really
nose.
cute. And she made a great adjustment here for the short time that she's here. She's going to Massachusetts tomorrow to go to an adopter. So she's, this is the beginning of the start of her new life. And short-term fostering is what makes it possible. We need to move dogs from the kennels where they are in Kentucky and Tennessee, especially. There's just so many dogs there. So even if you can't be a long-term foster, we're urging people to consider doing short-term fostering while we get dogs situated up north. And we also need short-term fosters in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama as well, before the dogs move or are adopted. So Lily's helping me. She's being my pitch dog here to show you how great the experience can be. And of course, we don't want her to leave, but she's going to leave and she's going to have a great new life.
And we hear that question often. How do you let them go? How can you do that?
It's really hard. My husband and I are supporting each other, but I talked to her adopter this morning, and he's a great guy. He's had a lot of experience with this breed. He's going to give her a wonderful home, and then I can take another foster at some point.
That is a very good point there, because when you move her, you can take another. You save another life, and
Right.
so.
Right.
Yeah, but that is a common thing. That's what I hear. Oh, I would keep them all. And we know people that's done that, but we still have some more to save. It's not going to end.
Right. Right.
And it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
And
No.
so that's short-term fostering. And I believe that the transport timing was in a way that it was time to get her up here, and that's why you took her.
Yeah, and because we freed a space up in the kennel in Kentucky, or down in the kennel in Kentucky. So another dog who needed to come in from a shelter or a surrender was able to go there, and she had her, temporary spot with me, just waiting to go to Massachusetts to be able to be with her adopter. And I mean, I can't tell you, how dedicated and involved people are. Well, actually I can, because Don and Donna Connors picked her up from the transport on a Saturday. I wasn't able to be there, and they brought her to me. And then she was kind of stinky, needed a bath. And Liz Patterson here in New York, who's a dog groomer, helped me give her a bath on Friday. So, now she smells beautiful and clean, and she's, adjusted to being in a home after being in the kennel for a month or more. And she's going to go to the adopter, I think, in, much, much better shape for just having this transition period.
So you got her out of the boarding into a home. So she already is familiar with that. And then you got her all cleaned up and showed her what to expect from that new home. You prepared her. That's amazing.
Exactly.
That is awesome.
And I was able to answer the adopter's questions when I spoke to him today about how she is in a home. And, she's got great house manners. Unlike some of my other fosters, she doesn't scratch doors or windows to go in and out. She's good with our cat. She's just turned out to be a wonderful pet.
And that's the questions that a boarding facility has a hard time answering. Right,
exactly. Yes.
And there's a joy in hearing how excited the adopter is to get a new dog. I know with some of my fosters, seeing the joy that they have. One of them adopted Max, and he had they had lost their Pyr, and so they were missing having a dog and missing having a Pyr, and they were just so excited to get him. And that does ease your heart a little bit, in letting them go. It's still hard, but it brings joy too.
It was good for him to talk to me, and it was good, for me to talk to him, because I feel a lot better, because we had all these questions. Oh, can she go outside? What's the situation? Does the house have steps? I found out a lot of things. What will he feed her? He's going to feed her a really good food from, so we feel confident. He's got the experience with the breed, that, this will be a good home for her, and he'll appreciate her, and I think, she'll appreciate him. So
the fosters do get to talk to the adopters.
Yes, we encourage that. Sure, yeah.
Yep. Good.
Yep.
So now that was short-term fostering. What about long-term fostering? How different is that now? Or is there a difference other than time?
You get to spend more time with the dog, and it's harder, I guess, not to be attached, but, that's
you can learn more.
Too. But my thing today is the short-term fostering.
Okay.
And I know that we need both, but because I just want to make the point that a lot of people don't want to get involved in a long-term foster, that they feel they, don't have the time to do it. They have commitments, they have other things. So the short-term fostering works for them. But of course, the long-term fostering works as well. But it is a little bit harder to let go of the dog, when the dog's been in your house. And I know from personal experience that my husband really finds it hard. I mean, he loves Lily and he wants her to stay, but we know she's going somewhere, so there's no question about that. She's got a destination to go to. And I think that helps some people who worry about getting too attached.
Okay. And now in your case, she was already adopted when she came to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And that's kind of not the situation all the time. Is that right?
Yes. Well, for short-term fostering, we're really just looking for somebody to be a bridge.
Okay.
The long-term fostering is more open-ended.
Right.
So, there is a difference between the two. And I'm glad that we have both as alternatives for people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you.
Because you made a good
NationalPyr.org.
point that some people can't make that long-term commitment or, an open-ended commitment, but they can commit for a couple weeks or, 2 or 3 weeks until a dog can get moved to the adopter or to their next foster. So this is a great opportunity for them to get involved and help save a life.
Yep.
Exactly.
And we're coming towards the end of a pandemic, and we need fosters more now than ever, because I just read an article at MSNBC that dogs are being returned to shelters at alarming numbers because they just got them to get through the pandemic. And that's all over the country, they said. So fostering really, really helps save lives and saves a lot of lives. And not everybody can do this breed. This is a giant breed. So, all righty, NationalPyr.org. Go out to become a volunteer. That is also the fostering application. So,
okay, and Lily says, bye. Thank you.
Thanks,
all right.
Lily.
So thank you for coming on with us, Barbara. And hopefully you'll come back with your next foster dog, and you can talk to us again. Look at that. Yeah. She's gonna love her life down there, isn't she?
I know. She's going to do really well. Yes.
Yes.
And that's a key to this, because Barbara is very, very satisfied that they've got just as good, if not better, home than what she's got right there for her. So that helps you with moving the dog down to where she goes. So
right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you for coming on. And
thanks, Barbara.
Okay.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Thanks.
Bye, Lily.
Wow.
Okay.
Who was that annoying guy that kept gibbering? Anyway.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Let's do.
So short-term fostering. I just kind of want to specifically in this case, we are talking about in the Northeast, because some of the states in the Northeast part of the country have quarantine regulations. Mm-hmm. So when a dog comes from another state, from a rescue, the dog has to go into quarantine for 2 days. So the issue comes in is sometimes that transport, the way that the schedule for transport comes in, might come in a week or two ahead of the quarantine appointment. So there's an appointment for quarantine, but transport has to go a couple weeks early, and they need somebody to hold the dog until the dog can get into quarantine. The dog, in this case, Lily, will be in quarantine for 48 hours, and then her adopter will pick her up from there.
That is correct.
So in order for us to be able to adopt to some of those states, it is really helpful for us to have short-term fosters. But short-term fosters can also be important in other areas of the country too. So for our rescue, for NGPR, we desperately need fosters in Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, Georgia.
Yep.
So in Tennessee, there are just so many Pyrs right now showing up in these shelters, and the shelters They're small rural shelters. They don't have the space for them. These are big dogs, which means they take up more space. And they're asking for help. But in Tennessee, they need to be there long enough to be able to get through their health certificate. Part of the issue with the pandemic is it has delayed vet appointments a little bit, but it's typically a couple weeks. So we need short-term fosters in Tennessee and in the South to be able to take a dog from the shelter, be able to, get it safe, because otherwise these dogs are at risk of being euthanized. And then, and
Sorry, everybody.
he fires her up. She's such a my good girl, and he just gets her all beside
I was her
herself.
second dad, right? Something like that. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
enough.
so anyway, we have fosters that can get them from the shelter, get them safe for a couple weeks, then we can move them to fosters in the north. So that's important. And I would guess that for other rescues like Montana and Great Pyrs and Paws Rescue, they would have similar needs. So I know in Texas, they have tons of Pyrs and shelters that sometimes they just need, a temporary foster or a place for them to go until they can get them transported to other fosters or adopters in the Northeast.
Yep.
And, the same with Montana, they may need places for a dog to go in order to get them safe. So the nice part about short-term fostering is maybe because of your work schedule, or maybe you travel for work, or maybe you just travel for pleasure and you think, well, I'd love to have a dog, but because of my traveling, I really can't. But short-term fostering is great because if you're going to be in town for a couple weeks, it would work out that, maybe there's a need at that point. You could take a dog for a couple weeks, and then you still have the freedom to be able to travel and do what you need to do as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's
Now,
short-term
Lori
fostering.
says she's been waiting and she's in New York. Well, Lori, next week's going to be your lucky day. So we're going to have Cake on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
next week is Cake, and Cake's foster is the New York State coordinator.
Yeah,
Just so you know.
So definitely tune in
Right.
next week. You
Yes,
can send
Lori.
a message so that way she makes sure that we get you in contact with her.
Yeah.
Oh, who's the gorgeous floofster? So this is Sophie. Sophie is my foster, and
Now she's long term, right?
she has been with me since last April. So she came to me April 15th last year.
Yeah.
And she came on a day visit.
For an overnight.
She came for
A
a
day
visit,
visit.
and then it became an overnight, and she's still here.
And
13
her
months
overnight's
later.
still going on. That's
Yeah.
all.
So Sophie is a beautiful girl. As you can tell, she's very sweet. But she does have her her challenges.
Yeah.
And so she's a little bit of a special girl, huh?
Dana makes a very valid point. When you foster, you don't have to worry about expensive vet bills.
That's correct.
Bingo.
The rescue will
correct.
pay for veterinary care.
Yes.
So that's always very helpful.
Yeah. And Lori, to answer your other question you asked about Oliver, I got to find out. Okay. I haven't heard lately. So,
Yeah, I know he had a couple applications.
Is he public? Oliver? He just had surgeries.
Oh, which Oliver?
The one up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. We have a couple.
I'll find out,
Olivers.
Lori.
Mhm.
And I'll let you know next week.
As far as I know, I thought he was doing very well.
That's the last I heard.
Yeah, that was the last I heard too.
So,
Mhm.
but anyway, next week we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna have Cake.
Yep.
And maybe we can maybe we can ask Bonnie to come up and share what she thinks about fostering short-term and long-term, because she's down there, and then because she's got Denali right there, and hopefully we can. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Steve.
Okay.
Hi, Denali.
So what is your thoughts on the short-term? And you've been fostering a long time for NGPR.
I've been fostering for 20 years. So that is a long time.
Yeah.
And-
And you've been, well, NGPR hasn't been all 20, but
I also foster for another group that has little dogs. So,
okay.
it's and that is the one question I get all the time is how do you let them go?
Yeah.
Because, and it's what Barbara said, because I know they're going to a good home. And I've had a couple that I've asked the adopters to adopt me too. Like the one that lived in Martha's Vineyard and
Yeah.
the one that lived on Cape Cod.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, you know, and it truly is so rewarding to get a dog that's beat down and unsure of themselves. And, you know, I always wait for that first tail wag. That always gets me.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah.
so, you know, if, boy, I don't know what I would do with myself because I like my dogs better than I like people. But, you know, it's what gets me up in the morning because I have to get up and take care of the dogs. And I don't know. It's just something that I think everybody should take a chance at.
I agree.
I have not had too many dogs that I think I've only had one dog that I couldn't handle. And I was going through a lot at the time. My mom had died and I was having a problem with this dog. He was very, very unruly. And I just asked any NGPR to move him and they did.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're having a problem with your foster, they will help you out and get that foster somewhere else and I took another one right away, you know, but, you know, it's just so rewarding to see them develop and grow and, you know, become familiar with how life really is instead of what life is in the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And fostering. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and you know, for me, it is hard to let them go. I get very attached. There's a lot of tears that flow when I've spent my fosters on, but I will say that when I'm able, they're so.
She gone.
She's walking back. But you know, when you've seen where they go and you see how happy the adopters, how happy the dog is in their new home, it is very rewarding, you know, to have that. So it's hard, but it's good too. Oh,
So Sophie's trying to find out who barked.
yeah, she's looking for where the barking dog is.
She's going everywhere out there.
So yeah, she's running around out there, barking at all the different corners, wondering where it came from.
Yeah. All right. So, and we also love watching them grow and blossom.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yep.
and
Well,
and,
Mr. Peavy must be barking too.
yeah. And Mr. Pee Wee and Sophie say hi to the barking
Come here,
dog.
Mabel.
All right, Bonnie. So 20 years, and you know that's just a good purpose to have in life.
It is. And you really do save a life. I mean, I look at the dogs that we've had and I know that they are safe and, you know, doing well because of fosters.
Yep. Okay, Bonnie, thanks. Did you get your entry for the drawing?
No, I can't figure out how to do it.
No, and I don't know how to tell you since you're a guest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can even see the comment section.
I did. I can see the comments, but I can't put one in there for some
Oh, you
reason.
can't put one in there? Oh, well. Sorry.
Okay.
I guess that excludes guests, and we didn't even know it.
Well, next week you'll have to enter.
Next week we can get in it
I
again.
certainly will.
All right, I'm going to take you back down the green room, and we're going to finish up here, right?
Yep. Sounds like
Thanks,
a plan.
Bonnie.
Thank you.
Give Denelli a big hug from us, too.
Oh, Tony, I thought Sophie was barking at me to come adopt her. Come here, Sophie.
Okay,
What
so
do you think, huh?
she scared him away, and she's done, so
Yeah.
now she's back.
She's done her job.
She's done her job.
She really
So-
likes to sit on your feet. That's her spot.
Oh, that's yeah, I think maybe she could have been wanting you to adopt her. So anyway, wow, what a show. Short-term fostering, long-term fostering, but Bonnie's a long-term foster and sometimes a short-term. It depends on what's happening. She's done overnights before, I'm sure.
Well,
I've done a couple of overnights.
And when we say long-term foster, it just means that it's open-ended. You could have a foster for a month. You could have a foster for 6 months.
Yep.
It means that you're going to foster them until they're adopted. Whereas, short-term foster, there's a, they're moving shortly. You know that within a week or two, they're going to be moving on to their next foster or adopter.
Yeah. Bonnie, that's for you.
Yeah, Michael's comment.
Michael was our very first winner.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Gloria was our winner last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna continue to do them. And
did everybody get their hashtag NGPR to enter for the drawing? We will send you we'll send you a travel mug. That's our giveaway. It's an NGPR travel mug. And yeah, Bonnie needs a hat for fostering for 20 years.
Yeah,
I think so too.
that means we need our Pyr Show hats. Oh, maybe she means an NGPR hat, huh?
We'll have to figure that out. Yeah.
All right. I guess I will work on getting Bonnie a NGPR hat for 20 years of fostering. All right.
That's a
Did
long
you hear
time.
that, Bonnie?
I have an NGPR hat that Barb gave me years ago.
So what are you saying? You want a Pyr Show hat?
Yes, I do.
That means we
Okay.
have to come up with one, don't we?
Yep. Did you see how he looked at me for that? He's telling me to get on it.
She's the hat lady.
Yeah, the making of the design t-shirts and hats, I guess, is my role.
Yeah,
Well, you do a good job.
she does. She surely does. All right. Thanks, Bonnie. Now I'll let you back down there.
All right.
So, yeah. And we've been looking into some
We
stuff.
have. It's actually.
There's a lot being talked about.
We have somebody that has we have someone that designs the logo and designed the logo for the Pyr Show, and I just have to go in and play around with picking out the hats and figuring out getting it on there. And I have a new foster coming this later this afternoon.
Yeah.
So
well, we don't want to jinx it, so that's enough.
Yeah. Okay. I won't say anything else, but just been trying to get everything ready for her, and
We'll probably see her next week on the show.
hopefully.
She could be a background. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we get this, get our signal fixed up here. We got to reboot. Anyway, hashtag NGPR, put it in the comments, and that enters you to win a drawing for an NGPR travel tumbler mug thingy, right? It's got a lid on it too.
Yes.
Cup. I forgot to bring one with me to show it to you.
It's a travel mug.
How many do you have? 2? 3?
I think I just have one.
Okay, I forgot to ask her to bring it up. But anyway, sorry about that. It's an hour and a half for me to drive down
And
here.
actually, my daughter might have taken it, so
So you may have lost
I
it.
may not have any.
You have to enter the drawing.
That's what I need to do. All right, are we ready to draw?
Well, are we ready to draw? I think we are.
I think so too.
All right, everybody. Let's last chance. Let's get your entries in. Hashtag NGPR, and we're going to get ready to draw it. So, and we've only here just real soon here. We're going to be doing this. I'm getting ready to bring the screen share up.
Okay.
Because everybody gets to see us draw it.
Yep. So this is really cool. It just automatically does the drawing. It goes through and is able to look at all the comments and pull out the hashtag NGPR.
Right.
And
Okay, I'll give you
draw it.
another 30 seconds to get them in.
Okay.
And in the meantime, nationalpyr.org, if it's happening, that's where it's happened. And the fostering really, truly, I'm fostering. I have little Sasha.
Yep.
Okay. And Rachel, who's working today because she works for a place that, she's making all that money. She's fostering Gracie in Austin.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, Sasha was not, she had a hard life. And watching her
sure did.
transform to where she is now, there's your reward right there.
Yep.
So.
All right. I don't see any
No,
others coming
neither do
in.
I. So let's bring this up to the stream.
right.
And I think it's time to draw.
I think so too. Sophie agreed.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is
very cool.
cooler than heck. Hey, Greg, can you put the email address up, please? Oh, Nancy.
Yay.
Nancy's been watching our show since the beginning. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That is pretty cool, Nancy.
That's great.
send us an email at the Pyr Show at nationalpyr.org with your shipping information. And I don't know, Sharon might want to hand deliver that one. Nancy's in Colorado.
Yep.
And Sharon likes to take excursions. So, yeah.
So
Congratulations, Nancy. Way to go.
Yay.
And Gloria won last week. Michael was our first one. So, all right, everybody, we're going to call it a day. We got a little bit of work to do here. And thank you all for joining us. And congratulations on winning that, Nancy. And if you can't win if you don't enter, right?
That's right.
Okay, you got to enter. So, all right, everybody, we're getting ready to head out of here. I've got a little bit different setup today. Anyway,
he's got to find the exit.
I got to find the exit.
He's to find the exit.
And little Sophie's down there saying, yeah, you need to find your exit. All right. And I need to take us back down. There we go. There's our exit. All right, everybody. Next week, you never know what's going to happen. We'll have Cake on. All right. Cake's in New York. And stay tuned. She's a good girl now. Bye, everybody.
Bye.